Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just to get out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So the Celtics lose in overtime thriller to the Golden State Warriors. It was an amazing game. There's a lot to talk about the Celtics right now. We'll get into almost everything that I noticed. If you notice anything, please hit the comments. Let's talk about basketball. But I do want to start this video giving some credit to the Golden State Warriors. They came back from down 17. Of course, the greatest shooter of all time hit us with the dagger. He was amazing in the fourth quarter. Chris Paul really kept them afloat in that third. Started hitting some mid-range, just had 12 assists. And Klay Thompson in the first half had about 18 points or so. You know, they did just enough to stay within striking distance. Every time we tried to go up by 20, we went up by 17 at one point, but every single time we tried to, end the game, they pushed back. Now for what you came here for, it's a Celtics talk, right? There's no Porzingis, right? So this is not the completed team. This isn't the final form, right? This isn't a game I'm upset about, right? Of course, anytime the Celtics lose, it's blown all the way out of proportion. But that does not mean that there are things that they can't improve on, right? There's always room to grow. And when the Celtics lose, a lot of people just like, oh, we're a championship team because they lost. Championship seasons are never perfect. There's never been a perfect championship season. So we're going to lose some games. We're going to look not championship level at some points. It's going to happen. But in this particular game, the Celtics shot 58 threes. I'm not a guy that's opposed to taking threes. I think we took a lot of good threes tonight, but 58 is too much, especially against a team with Chris Paul and Steph Curry. Chris Paul is a better post defender than people give him credit for. He's strong, he's savvy. Curry picked up his 5th foul, and I think we did a lot of unnecessary attacking because the Warriors started to do a good job of, hiding Chris Paul and like sending help when he got that 5th foul. And the Celtics, their whole offensive rhythm was stagnant because they decided to go at Steph Curry every time when he had his 5th foul. So it's kind of with the Sam Hauser thing when he had the best defensive rating last season. It's like, okay, people think they can go at a skinny white kid that's actually not bad at defense. So when they miss a shot or take a lot of time or turn it over as a result of trying to isolate Sam Hauser, that makes his rating go up. So I think the Celtics have to do a better job of when they attack the mismatches, you know what I'm saying? Of not making the entire offense about the mismatch, right? Like, of course you see it, dump it down there, but don't go into every single possession like, all right, we got to do this. Because if you're not scoring, if it's not working a lot of the times, just run your offense. I felt that was a point where they could have did a little bit better at, but they also missed a lot of layups, right? If you're around my channel, you know I love Neemias Queta, the guy that I really think could be our third big, and he showed that tonight. He's a little different in the context of this specific conversation because when he misses his layups, he gets the shit back, right? There was a possession, probably like his first offensive possession when he shot the ball. He got about 3 offensive rebounds and he put it back over his head. But on that possession where we got about 5 offensive rebounds at the end of regulation, Jaylen Brown missed a wide open layup. There was a point in overtime where Tatum finally did what we want him to do. He put his shoulder directly into Curry's chest and drove him into the basket, but he just missed the layup. He should have dunked the ball, but he just missed the layup. And fuck it, I'll just talk about Tatum now, right? I am not saying this because of this game. This is not a new thought. This is something that I have a video on. I will put that in the description if you haven't seen it. This is not a new thought. I will acknowledge that Tatum did roll his ankle in this game. So that could have played some part in his mentality, his attacking mentality. It could have did something. Jason Tatum's body has changed, but his mindset hasn't. And what I mean by that is when he came into the league, right, he was this skinny, silky smooth jump shooter, right? Majority of his game was that mid-range and that 3. He shot absurd percentages on those shots. And he wasn't good at the rim because, again, he would poster a guy here and there, but for the majority of his games, he was a below average finisher and an above average jump shooter. The past couple years, the emphasis has been on getting stronger. He still thinks he's that super effective pull-up jump shooter. Tatum shoots 58% on 2s. He shoots 72% at the rim. His 3-point percentage right now is down at 35%, which is the lowest of his career, actually tied with last year. He shoots 29% on pull-ups, which is the worst for anybody that takes the amount of pull-ups he takes. And on B-Ball Index, there's a thing called 3-point shot quality. It's self-explanatory. He's in the 4th percentile. That's an F. So he takes some of the worst threes in the league. But he shoots 44% on catch and shoot threes. So what does that tell you, right? Tatum has too many games where he's shooting about 9 to 10 threes. There should never be a game unless he's hot. Of course, we know Tatum can shoot. In those games where he's going nuclear, right? He's gonna shoot a high percentage from 3. That's totally fine. But in the games where he's just regular Tatum, where he's that 30-point guy that isn't shooting crazy percentages from 3, half of his field goals, or like above half or even close to half, they should not be 3-point attempts, bro. I did this in the game against Cleveland where he was 7 for 19 and 9 of his attempts were 3s. Why? There's no reason for you to do that. He shoots so good from 2. He's so good in the post area, as we've seen early on this season. He's just not the kid he once was in terms of jump shooting. And that's okay. He's supposed to evolve, right? Just because that part of his game, you know, got a little worse, that doesn't mean he can't use that to evolve into something else. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averages 30 points. He shoots 3 threes a game. Kevin Durant averages 30 points. He takes 5 threes a game. Tatum doesn't have to take 9. If he takes 2 less threes, he's way more efficient. And, you know, again, I'm going to continue to say the same thing. When people ask me, is Tatum a superstar? I still don't definitively say yes, because at his highest, he's a superstar, right? If you take Tatum's peak performances, he's a top 5 player. It's the consistency, the mindset, and most importantly, it's the efficiency that brings me back a little bit, right? The next step for Tatum has always been efficiency. It's always has been. Right now, he's just not that efficient for somebody at his level. And it's because he takes dumb pull-up threes, the contested ones, to test what type of game he's gonna have. If he comes out and hits 2 pull-up contested threes, you know that Tatum is hot that night and he's gonna start launching threes, right? For better or for worse, right? You know what I'm saying? He's still a great player. He's still a good shooter. That can end up being a great night for him. Majority of the time, again, he shoots 29% on those. He's missing 70% of that time. He's missing them. And that brings down his percentages. When he could be shooting above 50% from the field easily, it should be easy for him to shoot that. But his mindset hasn't changed with his body. His body has grown into a more dominant driver and a more dominant post player, which he is, but he doesn't do it enough. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And this isn't because of this one game. I know he was hurt. This has been a thing of years past, ever since he made an emphasis on being stronger. When you get stronger, you're thinking like, okay, well, I have to cater my game to my body, right? And he has, to a certain degree. It's just not to the degree that makes him a definitive superstar. Regardless of what I'm saying right now, he's a top 10 player. But for him to get to that next level in clear top 5 talks, it's efficiency. And it's his mindset. And it's him not being so obsessed with taking the pull-up 3. The play at the end of regulation, like, I don't know if I've been more upset at Tatum. Kuminga's playing good defense at start. You know, he was in Tatum's chest. Tatum dead ass got past Kuminga, got past him with about 3 seconds left, and stopped. He was hunting for the pull-up 3. That's the shot he had in his head the entire time he was standing there. He wanted to take the pull-up 3 the entire time. It would have been different if he was driving and Kuminga was still on the drive and he snatched back and that's the shot he had to take. Totally fine. He got past Kuminga and had an open lane and he stopped himself to take a pull-up 3, and that's what allowed Kuminga to get back into play, because he stopped and had to pump it because Kuminga was there. He wasn't. If he would have drove the ball, he wouldn't have been there. But Tatum already had his mind pre-made up that he was going to shoot that pull-up 3. And that's what fucked us in that moment, is him not being aggressive. The game before, we just saw Ja Morant go downhill, get to his spot, raise up. Get to the bucket, especially when you have the lane open. Just get there, brother. Just get there. Some other closing thoughts, like Brown was amazing. His approach is just getting better and better. His process is getting better and better over these last few games. We're going to need that, right? Tatum, again, the consistency is not always there. Tatum's going to have these games. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, they have to come out and do this, especially when Porzingis is not here. When Porzingis is here, things look different. You know, it's going to flow better. And especially because a team like the Warriors, who are small, Porzingis is going to make things so much easier, right? But the Celtics still should have won this game. It's not the end of the world. Championship seasons are not perfect, of course. But in terms of Jaylen and Derek White, those guys were phenomenal tonight. And these are the type of performances that make championship teams. Guys around the star that can come in and win you games in the playoffs. Nobody's going to do it alone. You need contributions from everybody when you're trying to win a championship. And I think that's the roster the Celtics have. Pritchard played well. Again, Kata played well. I would have liked to see a little bit more of O'Shea. I'm more of a Lamar Stevens fan when it comes to them too, but O'Shea came out blazing tonight and then he didn't see the floor again. I'm not saying he should have got 20 minutes like Kata did, but at least just another stint after having a near perfect one. Sam Hauser had a very unlike Sam Hauser game. If he hits his shots at the normal rate he does, we win this game. So again, we just miss a lot of shots. It's a make and miss league a lot of times. So I do expect Sam Hauser to hit some more shots, and when he does that, we're going to continue to win games. And one more thing, I am firmly on the side of, when it comes to blame piles, when things go wrong in the NBA, I am firmly on the side that the players hold more of the blame power. That doesn't mean Joe Mazzulla was perfect, right? He did not coach a good game. He got outcoached tonight, right? And there's just some things we have to clean up on the coaching side, but a lot of it definitely falls on the players though. But that is the video. Again, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, share it any and everywhere that you can, just so we can get out there a little bit more. And please comment. I love to talk basketball. If you agree or disagree with anything I say, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's comment down below. Let's talk about it. And I will see you guys in the next video. This is Nick. Peace.